I haven't done a my favorite X bands video in a little bit, but on the last one that I did make, the most highly requested subgenre was gore grind, so today, here are my top 5 favorite gore grind bands of all time. This list is in no specific order. Number 1, Lipoma. Lipoma is an American gore grind band that formed in 2021 in New York, and they remain active today. They are easily my favorite modern gore grind band, and what I love so much about them is that their music has so much variety to it. I feel like a lot of gore grind bands, as much as I love the subgenre, a lot of the bands do similar things and they can blend together a little bit, honestly, especially when I'm listening to a playlist that has solely gore grind or mostly. However, whenever Lipoma comes on, immediately I'm able to be like, hey, that's Lipoma right now. Their music has so much energy and is so uplifting that I often will listen to it in the morning on my way to work when I'm on the bus or train, because it really does wake me up and get me ready while I'm drinking my coffee. They also just use the best fucking samples in their songs. The song Ozempic Sick Society, fucking genius. I laugh my ass off every single time that song comes on. My favorite release by them would be their 2022 full-length Horrors of Pathology, and my favorite tracks off that release are Cancer of the Unknown Primary and Demonic Cult of Disease. Number 2, Exhumed. Exhumed is an American gore grind band that formed in San Jose, California in 1990, and they remain active today. I would have to call them my favorite gore grind band of all time. And the reason for this is not only that their music has a lot of variety and they have such a unique sound, but what really makes them take the cake is their live performances. I think a band's live performance is one of the most important things that a band should focus on, because it's something that really can turn anyone away from listening to a band. There have been bands that I saw live that I really liked, but I stopped listening to them just because they underwhelmed me so much live. From their stage presence to costumes and just overall execution, they have some of the best live shows I've ever seen. I especially love their bit with the evil doctor when they fake decapitate the guitarist with a guillotine on stage, and then they use the fake severed head and they end up spraying the whole front of the crowd with blood. I've seen them live twice, and both times they were incredible. The second time I was right at the front and I got fucking drenched in blood. It was sick. This was me when I got home from the show. At the end of the show, I was also able to talk to Matt Harvey, which is the vocalist, and he was such a nice dude. My favorite release by them is their 1998 debut full-length gore metal, and my favorite tracks off of that album are Limb from Limb and Casket Crusher. Number 3, Torso Fuck. Is a cross between gore grind and slam, and they formed in Herjavältä, Finland in 1995, and they remain active today, though they have taken multiple hiatuses in the past. Before discovering this band, I had not listened to any band that was a cross between slam and gore grind, but I am so glad that I did. I love how brutal and chaotic their music is, and I also just love how over the top they are. They also have some of the most extreme gory album covers that Spotify and other streaming services either censor their covers or make them have alternate ones up. When I hear something like that about a band, I know that they're gonna be worth checking out. My favorite release by them is their debut 1999 album, Diarrhea Fantasy, and my favorite tracks off of that album would be Snuffed Freak and Four-Legged Whore. Number 4, Metrohagia. They're a Canadian gore grind gore noise band from Toronto, Canada that formed in 2020. And as far as I know, they are split up, but it was extremely difficult to find any kind of information on them, which is disappointing because I would love to know more about them. I really like when bands incorporate noise elements into their music because I feel like it just adds such character to it and makes it so unique and just sound unlike anything else. What I especially love about Metrohagia is the use of that like hollow sounding snare drum that a lot of mincecore bands use. And I love when other subgenres use that kind of sound, because I don't really like mincecore that much, but I like that element of it. They only have a single release, and that would be their 2020 full-length album, which is their self-titled. There's not a skippable track on this album, but my favorite tracks off of it would be A Living, Breathing Snuff Film and Repeated Facial Trauma Resulting in Cycloptic Features. Number 5, Hemorrhage. Last but certainly not least on this list is Hemorrhage, and they are a Spanish gore grind band that formed in Spain in 1991, and they remain active today. I love their classic sound and how upbeat their music is. It just makes me want to mosh and dance. I love all of the riffs in their songs. They are just so fucking catchy, and they have some of the coolest album covers. On Metal Devastation, they have a patch of their album cover for We Are the Gore, their 2017 full-length, and I fucking need it. With that being said, that is also my favorite release by them, and my favorite songs off of it are Nauseating Employments and the Cremated song. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. What subgenre would you like me to cover next? All my links are in my bio, and goodbye and gatekeep.